Hello, grade 4 students. How have you been? I'm welcoming you once again to our science class. We had fun in the classroom today, but you need more information about the sun. Lesson 53, pages 216 to 217 of your book. Let's have some review. All right, we talked about the solar system last time. Congratulations for learning about it and also answering the homework. Okay, you did very well. You know, some of you didn't do the homework, and so I asked you to do this one. And those I took some photos, you can message me privately so I can help you. All right, okay, especially this one. Very easy. About maybe 8 or 10 of you didn't do this one yet. All right. So we learned that this is the solar system. But for today, talk about the sun. All right. But before that, let us again recite the planets of the solar system. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. There's a dwarf planet. We'll talk about it later on. For today, let's talk more about the sun. So, the sun, the moon, and our Earth are part of the solar system. When we say solar, solar means sun. Solar is an adjective for the sun. Okay, so they go together, remember? And so right here, what is the solar system? What else are in the solar system? How big is the sun? You know, the sun is very big. You can see this dot, this blue one, it's like the earth. So this is the sun, and the earth is just this, so tiny. Can you imagine? You compare the sun and the earth. How many earths do you need to compare the size of the sun? Look at that. You need more earths. All right. You need 110 earths to match the size of the sun in its diameter. Can you imagine that? So the sun is about 100 times bigger than our earth. Okay. Now that is a fact that we need to remember. However, it looks small because it is very far from us. Even the light from the sun takes about 8 minutes to reach us. So the sun is a star consisting mainly of hydrogen. Hydro means like water. Okay, it's a kind of gas which is full of hydrogen. And then the temperature at its core is extremely high. We'll talk more about it later. It gives out heat and light energy, which are important to all living things on the earth, including you and me. So, in your textbook, it says that the sun is the only star in the solar system and is also the center of it. The sun is small compared to other stars in the universe, but it is the closest star to Earth. So we can see it as the biggest and brightest star in the sky, while we can see other stars as tiny bright spots because they are very far from the Earth. The sun is round in shape and is 109 times larger than the Earth. So the temperature of the sun is so high that no life can live on it. All right, it means you cannot travel to the sun. Now, let's learn more about some facts about the sun. Basic facts about the sun is its diameter. You know, diameter, not the circumference. Diameter is just from this half of it to the other part. Diameter, like through, meter, through. Dia means through. So it's the meter here going through the sun from top to bottom. So what is the diameter? It's 1,392,530 kilometers. Imagine that. That's too big. And what's the average distance from the Earth? It's 149.6 million kilometers. Too far. And how long does it take for the sun to spin around itself? It takes 27 days. That is the time taken for the sun to spin around itself. And how hot is the surface temperature of the sun? Its estimated surface temperature is 6,000 degrees Celsius. Remember, I asked you about in the classroom, like our usual body temperature is just below 37. We come to school, when our body heat becomes 37, one of you says, you have a COVID-19 disease, right? It means you have fever. The color of the sun is yellow, and the age of the sun is estimated to be 5 million years old. All right? Science fact. The sun is an important energy source for Earth. Okay? Because it gives us heat energy and light energy. For example, we can use light energy from the sun to produce electricity, like the solar panel right here in the picture. Okay, I want you to think. Let's think. What would happen to all living things if the sun does not give out heat and light energy anymore? One of you answered. We would freeze. We would die, and everyone would die. And actually, if there's no heat from the sun, you cannot produce electricity. All right. Now, I want you to watch this one. The sun has a powerful gravitational force that pulls and keeps all the planets and the other objects in the solar system. Now, let us watch this video. All right. Solar system. You hear the sound. 8 planets orbiting 1 sun. You could hear like this, right? That's a power of the gravitational force of the sun that pulls. All of the planets orbit in a counterclockwise direction. See them? All right. Now look at the superior planets right here. Bigger ones. The inner planets orbit faster than the outer planets. And then, you hear them? Okay. is the third planet from the sun. Now look at the Earth as it revolves around its orbit. The Earth takes 365 days to complete one orbit. These are the orbits. The orbit, like the path where the Earth has its direction going, revolving around the sun. All right. Now, that's enough. So when talking about the solar system, as you saw already, there are how many planets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planets. Look at them. In sizes, it's interesting, even in colors. Now you can see right now that the solar system has the sun as a center, including 8 planets and their natural satellites. Can you remember the names of the planets? Well, remember this way. This is the acronym, or like something that makes you remember. My very educated mother just served us nuts. Okay? Memorize it. My very educated mother just served us nuts. Like my is Mercury, and you have very Venus, educated like Earth, M, Mars, just Jupiter, served for Saturn, us, Uranus, and nuts for Neptune. Okay? Now, I want to repeat that: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Easy. So in your book, it says the natural satellites of the sun are the 8 planets and their natural satellites or moons, dwarf planets, asteroids, comets, meteorites, and other space objects. All of them orbit the sun. So planets are the natural satellites of the sun. There are 8 of them. Astronomers group these planets by the time of orbit and their surface as follows. As you see here, the planets are divided into inner planets and the outer planets. What are the inner planets? They are small and composed of rocks with few to no natural satellites or rings circling them. They are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. As I told you in a classroom, they are called inner planets is because they are inside the distance between the Earth and the sun. All right, inner planets. Now, the outer planets are composed mainly of gases with dozens of natural satellites and rings. They are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Look at them, how beautiful they are. And so they're also bigger. They're called outer planets because they're farther in their distance from the sun, farther than the Earth, as it say. So based on the time of orbit, you can see 2 kinds of planets: the interior planets, that I call inner planets, and the superior planets or the inner planets. All right. Okay. Also, you can group planets based on surface: the rocky planets and the gas planets. The rocky planets are the planets with hard and rocky surfaces. They are covered with thin layers of air. They're the Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Gas planets are the planets covered with gases. Some of them are made of a small rock in the center. They are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Okay, the planets move around the sun. in an orbit? I told you about orbits, right? 3 of you were not able to answer in the classroom today what an orbit is. The further is the planet from the sun, the longer is its orbit. All right, look at the sun here. So this is the planet, and you see the orbit where the planet revolves around the sun. It goes through its orbit. This is the orbit. Remember orbit? I showed you about at least 9 orbits for 9 planets, but other things also, they have their orbits. So the duration for the planet to complete its orbit around the sun is the revolution period. All right, remember, revolution period. The planets also rotate at their own axis. Remember the axis, the imaginary axis we talked about last time? The duration for the planet to complete its rotation is the rotation period. So we have 2 periods here, revolution period and rotation period. Now, some planets have smaller objects orbiting around them. They are called natural satellites. Look at this, all right? So the Earth has one natural satellite. We call it the moon. And it revolves around its orbit also in a counterclockwise. Our Earth has one natural satellite, as I said, it's the moon. The moon orbits around the Earth and also spins on its own axis. Now, for exercises today, I gave you 5 in a classroom. You just write true or false. And I'm giving you now 6, all right? Number 1, the sun is never a star. True or false? You're right, only true or false. Number 2, the heat of the sun's surface is 6,000 degrees Celsius. True or false? Number 3, you can travel from the Earth to the sun to 149.60 million kilometers. True or false? Number 4, we can never have electricity if there is no sun. True or false? Number 5, the solar system has only 8 planets, not 9. True or false? Now, number 6, I'm giving you this one. After you go home from school, Mercury and Venus are called interior planets because they are inside the distance between the sun and the Earth. True or false? Number 7, superior planets are those longer in their time of orbit than that of the Earth. True or false? Number 8, rocky planets are soft planets, not plants, I should say. Let me edit that one, all right? Again, rocky planets are soft planets. True or false? Number 9, gas planets are those planets covered with gases. And number 10, it appears that rocky planets are closer than gas planets to the sun. Well, I want you to post your answers in the comment section on Facebook group below, and then see you next time. Bye-bye.